At the same time, on the most secure side of the world, I looked at him, laughing for an hour. Do you know why? Not lost yet, Rod jumped into the rushing water. I can't help raising my eyebrows. The sand is so deep. The most obvious thing is to smile. The old man trusts your judgment. You just don't have to be forced down this road. The old man is still looking forward to the day of evil. Surely the butler's words come true. Probably the most smiling. The farmer also laughed for an hour. With yin and yang, he went to the radio. Looking at the lonely, she said, "Old Marshal, you don't blame the old man for not inviting you. There are no imperial prime ministers. An activity as big as the Ming dynasty to observe. It's the right thing to do." She shivered with a cold smile and said, "Slowly put on your hand." Master Jia Sand glanced at everyone laughing. "Ha ha. Don't be so serious, Marshal. The old man is a lonely old man. Idle bored birth. It should come to a close. You don't have to pay attention." Lonely girl battle outside, smiling face, but in the cold, dogs believe the words of your old man. This person was smarter than you. There's no such thing as a gratuitous visit. There must be a conspiracy. But right now he doesn't think. I don't have time to pay attention to him. Thought. He swept his eyes at everyone and announced, "It's a great show this time. Only the 30-year-old disciples of the world newly allowed to attend. People who are too old are not allowed to chisel grass-fed water. If one finds out, the old man will cut to death without letting go." What about specific rules? Invited in the 5 great households of the Emperor 7th. The Pearl of the Sword. White music. The student claims. Just finished. Everyone immediately follow the direction his hands are looking at. I saw an old man with white hair, hovering in the air. Who handed over a jewel? Is the Pearl of the Sword God Fuang Thursday batch? Not much. Right now, in his hand he holds the stones. Hands up. In the blink of an eye, he flew to the edge of the battle line. Jia Chongfeng saw this scene. A little bit of wonder, muttered, "Spirit soldiers move 8 products, 5 national stone towns." The white receiver gave a cold nod to NT0. This is the spirit moving army. 8 products transmitted by ancestors, 7. 5 national jelly towns. I said it. Towards the 5 stones Kier struck. A light in front of everyone. Immediately appeared the green scenery. Animals everywhere. Everyone looked at it in amazement. At this point, the white man spoke again. "Now, I'm going to declare the rules of the 100 Kingdoms this time. I think everyone has seen it too. These are considered to one-way shifts. In a moment, everyone will be in the nebula. I will give everyone move to the finish line of this battle. But if you want to go back, you have to go through 5 stone towns. This water fire is new." His word just ended. People were immediately stunned, not very clearly. Doubt or gossip. This rock has no translation. Then let's go back. I don't understand either. White continued to explain. Every one of these 5 blocks, corresponding to each unilateral displacement method. It's just moving from where the fight is. However, you want to start the war there. First you have to find a match corresponding to these 5 national jellies. Then you've got to find the key to the game. Something. Each game has 2 keys, yin and yang. You have to use both keys at the same time to get back. And back-to-back order. We will decide the ranking this time. That sounds simple. The king laughed coldly for an hour. Everyone also agreed to nod. It doesn't feel very difficult either. It's simple, freckled, smiling. Speak with contempt. But if you know, where is the final destination this time? Maybe you wouldn't think so. The final destination this time is the mountain. The words just came out and moved the whole animal school of King's Son. That's why the 100 years of war this time. To organize in a place where there are so many animals. Just a little carelessness, maybe you'll lose your life. Adorable 309 MILF strangers. King's Son animals are not as aggressive as thousands of animals. It's also a place full of high-level animals. There's even the Spirit King. A mascot of 6 or more stages exists. That's why it's called King's Son. Fine stuff there, Gao. The sky or the sky. It is not possible to ensure absolute safety. Let's not talk about young people like them. The opposite of everyone. Probably not too many reactions. Calm down, so. I can see the anxiety on everyone's faces. The white man grinned and said, "There will be danger, there will be danger. The battlefield this time is a bit dangerous. But to make it up, I've left 5 of the 8 tough knitted spirits there. God of knitting. Whether you find it or not, you have to see your creation." This word just came out. The most powerful and the most powerful. The 2 eyes suddenly lit up. On the face appeared clear tia resolute. This precious medicine. They will definitely steal it. The god of knitting is high-class medicinal knitting by the priest, or the standard vision preparation. It can be said to be extremely rare in space. Even the 7 kingdoms may not have had one. Just 1 tablet is to be able to break through the divine vision in the blink of an eye. They didn't even leave any evidence behind. If the master of magic drinks in, it can increase power. God's power up to several times. The emperor's temple is agitated. Looking towards the royal palace of heaven. The lips are a bit bitter. He's been in the sky for years. Still can't break through. This time is a good opportunity. The king of heaven nodded. Confident face speaks confidently. Surely the one who gets it will be you. Master Feng suddenly raised his eyebrows. Slowly waving the fan in his hand, whispered. This time the old man is really violent. I can't wait to act. Right at this moment, it's in your hands. Just press the button and point to the nebula and shout. Go away, boys. Just for a moment, a skyscraper appears. People can't help but squint and look. The disciples of each house rushed in. In the blink of an eye transmitted inside. Most likely, he looked at the French. Then I looked at the lost people. I see that wake. It's a random shift. Maybe we'll be separated by then. It's here. The first step is to find someone first. Yes, Butler Track. 10 slightly trembling teenagers who hastily nodded. Even if you are serious, don't worry. TRAC.ca. In the place of meaning. I've been in training. Breakthrough and field reconnaissance. To believe that I will find everyone soon. Smiling for an hour. Most likely, he nodded. See the original. Sending you to the marshal was the right decision. Now we don't have to worry too much. Everyone nods in unison. Follow the most precious track to the cow radio. I'm often worried about looking at people. Loud cry out. You must be careful to return safely. Suddenly, there was a scream of hatred. Sure. Your hatred of my master will surely make you owe your blood. Pay with blood. Most likely the head is tilted. I look very serious at the bottom. Unsightly face look why. Smiling softly, why did you forget this boy? This guy is too shy. Waiting for him to leave to speak up. The surgeon shook his head. He also did not pay attention to the battle tradition. The devil is in the back, no more. Disdain to speak is useless. People come in and they dare to speak. Don't be shy later. Do things like that. It's just the two of us. Let's go. Just for a moment, immediately embarrassed to bow down. I dare not resist a word. You can only quietly follow the devil. Traditional battle. White music. I watched the descendants of the 6 families come in. Immediately close the battle. A white light fell. The body is most definitely transmitted. Appeared in a dense forest. I can't wait to look around. Suddenly, behind the worst of all came a roar. Probably the most amazing. 4-stage beast son to on-land hero. It's a powerful force, rushing to an area that wants to be struck down. But most probably I didn't notice. There was a blue fire in his eyes. Then quickly disappeared. Today a fire appeared. The world stopped in the blink of an eye. It's like seeing something scary. Hurry up and run into the forest. Watching the shadow of the earth disappear, probably the best mouth. I didn't expect this inflammatory bar to have such a powerful menace. With all the animals. Like this, it will be much more convenient to act in King's Son. Some people are afraid of animals, but they can be arbitrary. Not from the proud Yang. Think about it, the most powerful immediately use the medicine. Looking for the lost. As expected, of course. They've been teleported. The size of this mountain beast is beyond his imagination. And more high-class spirits. It is very unfavorable to the Chinese. We must find them quickly. Suddenly right now, a woman's voice screamed to save her life. I can't help but hear the screams. This place is a dangerous mountain beast. Normal people will not come here. Maybe a disciple participating in the decisive battle. But the scream before was a girl. It must have been her. There are many women in this place now. But I just heard a scream. Probably the most. I can only remember the flamboyant body of the bird. Worry about her. Except for the event the day before. She obviously broke up with her. So right now, I still don't know if I should care about her or not. For a long time. I don't know, for fear of something happening to her. Or fear of being hurt. 7. He decided to go to the rescue. At a large lake in the jungle. The girl is struggling under the lake. There's also a big iguana in there, endlessly baring her teeth and dancing towards her. Look at the animal in front of you. It immediately startled him. 6-stage beast to Haijiao Island. In the body, the blood flow due to the dragon of Mercury. It's the top of the 6-stage mascots. The power is not inferior to the 7-stage beast. The most sure deep breath quietly surprised. Not expected. There are so many ferocious beasts in this place. Think for a moment. The right pupil of the most mortal suddenly flashed. In the blink of an eye into the lake. Bring the girl out. Long enough to lose its prey at any time. Bewildered under the lake looking for. Hold someone in your hand. Hiding behind a big rock. Probably most interested in speaking up. You don't know. But I just looked down. He discovered that he was not a man. He remembered in his hand a strange girl. And there's no cover. I am surprised that this woman is not dressed. The woman slowly opened her eyes to him. Remembering yourself without clothes. Immediately exclaimed the thug. Close your eyes and don't look. 310 reverse engineering. In the eyes unconsciously condense. Probably the second one doesn't frown. I was surprised to see the woman in front of me. A whisper for an hour. Even his mother, who was naked, dared to enter this place. The woman is screaming again. I have to change. You're lucky you can't sneak a peek. The most likely person to turn his lips contemptuously. It's cold, you're ruffian. You're not dressed, you're moving here. Since when has the dance been so open? What a long dance. I don't know. It's not a long dance or a long draft. What to look at? Be careful if you pluck out your eyes now. Most likely the tongue is ridiculed. You haven't seen it. There's nothing terrible about it. The woman was immediately embarrassed and bowed her head with red cheeks. Bite your teeth without making a sound. Endlessly resentful. You can lose your face. From top to bottom, this person can see everything. How dare you meet someone else later? Ladies in the back folding clothes. Probably the most silent. The doctor scratched his head and sighed. I can't believe I saved the wrong person. Waste of Lao Tzu's time. This word enters the ear of the girl. She immediately got angry and came to stop him. What do you mean? You're sorry to save me, right? Look at the woman in front of you. Most people realize that something is unusual. She doesn't dress like a lady of heaven. That the outfit only has a little covering. Exposed spray is usually clear. Upright posture. I also carry a 6-stringed bracelet. Filled with savages. Only now did he discover that she was an alien. Stare at her. I don't think about. You can meet foreigners in this place. But he doesn't care. He still has important things to do. Thought and walked through her. Don't get in the way of Lao Tzu. I looked across her face. The girl was a little startled. In front of the woman she is. It's still so cold. Is he still a man? He has no interest in women. Or does she have no charisma? Just as she guessed. Most people are not really interested in her. Moreover, he has more important things to do. I don't have time here to talk nonsense. A straight line. In my heart never ceases to murmur. You've wasted too much meaningless time. We must quickly find the lost ones. Suddenly right now. A loud roar came out with the wind screaming. Just for a moment a leopard around the body of a glistening Kim. The cold, deep eyes. Coming in front of you too. The woman could not help but scream in horror for an hour. 4-stage mascot through Sun Kim Cook Bao. Look at the animal in front of you, probably the most unconsciously nervous. The 4-stage beast in the beast kingdom of Shanding is like this. Really don't know. The locals touch them. Is there any trouble? Something. It's just the first stages, and I don't think much of it. Then he acted. Lift your leg, plunge straight to the opposite side, quickly solve it. It's not even close to it. Suddenly behind, the sound of the bells ringing. Finally, the leopard just roared for an hour. Then I lost consciousness on the ground. This is the first time he saw how to deal with animals like that. I was a bit surprised to see the girl behind me, smirking and laughing. Haha, I can't believe you have a little bit of courage. You don't have. Judge the lady's way of bending the beast with arrogance. It's like you're bad. The water can't hold. Cold for an hour. Disdainfully say a paragraph of 9 key scenes. I don't know if I saw a 4-stage beast threatened with stupidity. Or stupid. I can't wait to find my way to death. I was threatened for fear. I don't know who's in the country calling for help. Again naked as a pupa. Probably not without laughing for an hour. Open your mouth and laugh. The woman's face suddenly turned red. Then puff up your chest. I'm sure these two things are the same. What's in the water is a 6-stage beast. That's right. A scene like you. Save me from the hands of the 6-stage beast. Even if the lady is a god, she's a god. But at that time, I feel like I have no chance to live anymore. Of course, because we're fast. Probably the most. Of course, not a secret. Are you a genius? Talk to a stranger. Not known. There are only 2 wings in the back. Laughing replied. It turns out that's it. 6-piece spirit warrior. The girl accidentally winked at the startled ones. And then suddenly I'm thinking about what to do. Most seriously say this, kid. You saved me a life. I also saved your life. We don't think anyone owes anyone. But you've seen my whole body before. Taking advantage of you means you owe me. Oh, that's probably the best way to nod your head. I know what you mean, don't worry. Lao Tzu will not lack anyone else for anything. You're waiting. He did not hurry up and take off all his clothes, exposing her body firmly in front of the girl. But the woman turned her head awkwardly. In his mouth constantly scolded to scammer. What are you doing? Most likely laughing for an hour. He looked at the woman who was laughing in front of him. You told me to take advantage of you. I will also let you see my body. So you can take advantage of me too. So we don't owe anybody. Don't worry, we don't owe anyone anything. including wholesale as well. The woman is about to be killed by this word. Body trembling. I can't help it anymore, yelling at the fucking pervert again. I didn't mean that. Do you mean to take advantage of me even more? Most likely, smile for an hour. I mean, I didn't just show you. Can I let you touch it again? Take advantage of me, I don't care. Ha ha ha, really I don't care at all. The angry woman pouted her lips. I just want you to help me get my hair done. Then our debt is over. I don't want to look at you. The most emulsified figure muttered amazingly. Emulsification is the underground river. It flows for 1,000 years. Under the cleaning process, continuously fired in geocentric distillation, condensed into the flower of water. Its value is incalculable. Same with Diamond Saver SA. To visualize this emulsion, it's also the best material for gas. It's even more precious than diamonds. Just while training your soul, add a little emulsification. That spirit will turn into a spirit. Consume in small variable change of nature. It can be turned into a 1,000-pound tree. The force cannot be small. It can be turned into a diamond. When the enemy is not prepared. Something no one knows. This emulsion has another magical effect. Is to coordinate with the great training. Cultivation of physical chemistry. In the cradle of the world of him there is a root invasions. But if we could get a real emulsion, maybe the emulsification of 9-6 will succeed. This sale seems to be a bit interesting. As long as you have that power. Until the end of the 3 Confederates. You don't have to think. It's going to be a very powerful force. The thought of this is most likely to reveal a sinister smile. Looking at the woman wearing her voice. How do you want me to say it? Unconsciously or strangely looking at him. It's suspicious in the face. Why is this person suddenly so excited? It's weird, this guy is just a scene. She calmed down and didn't pay much attention. She smiled and said, "Follow me. I just need you to help me get it. What you did to the lady before. It will end here." Most likely, he laughed for an hour. There's a lying smile on my face. Ladies go in front. Suddenly I feel the evil coming. Unconsciously turn your head. Most likely, she laughed and said. Can't help but feel strange. She felt it very clearly just now. And now he's laughing so happily. Maybe she's wrong. Unconsciously shaking his head, she ignored the astonishment and said nothing. Maybe we're wrong. Then let's go. Smiling, nodding, the coldest said. The most sure of mortals silently laughing coldly follow closely behind. The woman in my heart is not content. You're a stupid girl so fast. It's bitten. Except 311 big harvest. In a moment, 2 people went to the small lake before. Most likely, look at this place. Raise your eyebrows or say, this place is not. As if he knew his suspicions. The girl laughed with a soft voice. You know before. Why do we fall on the same path? What's the reason for that? Not allowed. Have you bathed in someone's lake? Beating you is light. If I were you, I would have swallowed you. Probably the face is unchanged. Casually shrugging his shoulders. The shy girl blushed with anger. The most likely look is a grudge. Who said we took a shower there? Then what else can you do? I didn't even wear clothes. I would probably touch my nose for an hour. You are back. The woman was so angry that she gnashed her teeth endlessly. She didn't come out the door today. I've just met a guy like this. There is only one way to work with him. To get that emulsification. Think about here. She can only endure his insolence. He pointed to the cave. You look across. See that door? I can see why. Most likely looking in the direction of her hands nodding. That's the cave of the Kier unicorn. The cold woman spoke up. Probably the most astounding thing I can't believe. Why is it possible? I've single-handedly fenced 100. How narrow the door is. He hasn't said the whole thing yet. She spoke up to explain. Looks like you're not that stupid. I can finally guess. That's right. The poison must have swallowed the emulsion. So it can change size, and size. Free through the door like that. Maybe you should ask, but how can you be sure? Is there an emulsion in that cave? If that sow poison eats emulsification elsewhere. Or they've eaten it all. And he hasn't said the whole thing yet. From the bottom of the lake appeared a small fish. Emerging from the bottom of the lake, it creates water bubbles. See this scene. Why transparency nod? Then you have a water system spirit. Even when Kier was not there. You've let it scout the way. You seem to be so smart. The girl's eyes flickered and laughed. Ever since the discovery of this freakish Cable 6 mascot. We've been watching the venom for over a month now. It will usually stay inside. It only came out of the cave 3 days ago. I took that opportunity to let the goldfish scout. It did, of course, find out where the emulsion was. Unfortunately, the poison sow Kier to careful all the way. Wait until 3 days later, but it's not moving. My lady, we're just fighting it head on. So you just stripped it off. You want to charm that animal with your beauty? Look at her happy face. Probably the most mocking. What the hell are you talking about? Who said you used beauty to charm that animal? His face suddenly flushed red. The embarrassed woman spoke up. I just want to use Ra's beast bending magic. To capture it. Chinese language. Probably the most astounding of all. This little boy. Don't you say such vulgar words anymore, will you? The angry man glanced at him. To explain the secret of the beast's bending. We focus on the unity of the gods. The closer you are to nature, the greater the power. With my strength, at the very least, you can tame a level for beast. So this time I didn't see the point. Into nature. Unfortunately, in the end, they lost 7. Most likely, her eyes looked cold. Although Sao is also related to Long Zhao, making Sao comparable to a level 6 mascot. Normally okay. That's what success is. The woman finished looking at him. Smile mesmerizing, say this boy. Didn't you fly so fast before? You're luring that poison knife out later. Then the lady will go in and get the emulsion. Then the lady will not compare with you. For disrespect to the lady. Okay, I can't. Most likely, a strange smile. So let's fly away. The woman looked at the idea exactly as her plan, silently pleased. This guy is stupid. And finally, it's in her hands. The thing is everything going so well? It was so bad that she couldn't believe it. The fastest way is to reach the cave. He knocked hard on the cliff with a loud cry. It's like knocking on someone else's door. The woman looked at his actions with astonishment. Why is he so rude? It is because he is not afraid. Or there's no such thought. The woman looked at him, laughing. This guy is a little weird. At this moment a sound is heard. The little snake slowly came out of the swimming pool. When you get to the door, you move a body. In the blink of an eye turns big. The most obvious is standing in front of you. He was angry to hit. Probably not even human. Panic. He glanced calmly at the snake in front of him. The woman said no wrong. This snake has indeed swallowed the emulsion. It can be as big as that. The woman in the distance looked at him, still motionless. Danger of the mouth. In the heart of urgency. Why is that boy standing still? Maybe he was threatened with stupidity. She couldn't help but scold for an hour. Fucking, it's always bad. It's the most important time. The opposite is the worst. He looked at the big snake in front of him, silently chilling. I didn't even look at it. Directly into the cave. It's like not putting this monster in your eye. Just say don't run. You guard here. Don't come in without my permission. The serpent was stunned. What does this guy mean? He wants him to watch the gate instead. It's crazy. When he thought about it, he got angry. Again a loud voice echoed. It is once again the closest to Earth. I want a bite to kill. People in the distance can see this. Threatened with a head full of cold sweat. In my heart. I told you to seduce him, not tease him. Even if you want to die, you have to draw him away too. Can you die later? As a result, her plan will be destroyed. I can't get it anymore. But most likely, they don't panic. He glared furiously at her with a whisper. Don't mess around. He was once again despised. The enraged snake almost bled out its blood. And yet, despised by this humanity. This moment, he really wanted to kill the boy in front of him. His eyes full of attack. The woman closed her eyes and did not dare to look straight. Muttered for an hour. He's definitely dead. But most likely the world is still the same. Suddenly there was one in my eye. Inflammation in the eyes also appears. An invisible evil force winking through.